This is Q19 to Flushing Main Street Station. This stop is 27th Avenue and 2nd Street. Next stop, 8th Street and 27th Avenue. This stop is 8th Street and 27th Avenue. Next stop, 8th Street and Astoria Boulevard. Transfers available to Q103, Q18 and Q102. This stop is 8th Street and Astoria Boulevard. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 14th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 14th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and Newton Avenue. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and Newton Avenue. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and Crescent Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and Crescent Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 28th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 28th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 31st Street. Transfers available to the N&W trains and M60 SBS. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 31st Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 37th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 37th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and Steinway Street. Transfer available to Q101. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and Steinway Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 42nd Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 42nd Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 44th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 44th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 49th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 49th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 73rd Street Pedestrian Overpass. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 73rd Street Pedestrian Overpass. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard South and 77th Street. Transfer available to M60 SBS. This stop is Astoria Boulevard South and 77th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 80th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 80th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 82nd Street. Transfers available to M60 SBS, Q33, Q47 and Q69. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 82nd Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 84th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 84th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 86th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 86th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 88th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 88th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 90th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 90th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 92nd Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 92nd Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 94th Street. Transfers available to Q49 and Q72. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 94th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 96th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 96th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 98th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 98th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 100th Street. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 100th Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 102nd Street. Transfers available to Q49 and Q23. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 102nd Street. Next stop, Astoria Boulevard and 108th Street. Transfer available to Q48. This stop is Astoria Boulevard and 108th Street. Next stop, Northern Boulevard and 126th Place. This stop is Northern Boulevard and 126th Place. Next stop, Northern Boulevard and 127th Place. This stop is Northern Boulevard and 127th Place. Next stop, Northern Boulevard and Main Street. Transfers available to Q20A, Q20B, Q25, Q34, Q44 SBS, Q50 Limited, Q65 and Q66. This stop is Northern Boulevard and Main Street. Next stop, 39th Avenue and Main Street. Transfers available to the 7 train, Long Island Railroad, N20G, Q12, Q13, Q15, Q15A, Q16, Q17, Q20A, Q20B, Q25, Q26, Q27, Q28, Q34, Q44 SBS, Q50 Limited, Q58 and Q65. This stop is 39th Avenue and Main Street. This is Q19 to Flushing Main Street Station.